Hey guys, it's me Josh from the BioDude. Today I'm going to be talking about how to set up your California Kingsnake BioActive Terrarium. In front of me I have a 40-gallon breeder terrarium. Today I'm going to briefly discuss the basic husbandry with a California Kingsnake, as well as how to set up your Terra Firma BioActive kit ordered from the BioDude.com. Be sure to follow the dude on Facebook and YouTube, and definitely subscribe to my channel. So for starters, the very first thing that I'm going to do is take a look at my substrate. And for the substrate, we're going to be using the Terra Firma. Now, my Terra Firma substrate is a one-of-a-kind substrate in the eyes that it doesn't need a drainage layer. Essentially, what it does, it retains the perfect amount of moisture while creating and generating all the necessary air pockets so air can reach the very bottom, preventing anaerobic bacterial growth while promoting your springtail and isopod breeding and development within your tank, as well as proper root development in your plants. It also retains all tunnels and burrows, creating humidity pockets for your snakes, which is extremely important because as your snakes exhale through the process of osmosis, they're losing water. Having extra moisture into the air within particular sections of the tank helps with hydration, it helps with respiration, and it aids in shedding. So the very first thing I'm going to grab is the Terra Firma. I sell my substrates in two sizes. 6-quart bag, which is about 1.5 gallons. And then I got the big one. 36 quarts, approximately 36 quarts. It's usually 36 to 42 quarts for the bag. What I'm going to do is open it up, nice and simple like that, and then I'm going to dump in the substrate into the bottom of the tank. Look at all that. Now you can see here I'm giving your snake a deep layer. The reason I want to do a deep layer of substrate is because A, for the burrowing, which is very important to make your snakes feel at home, but the deeper, denser substrate you have, the more likely you are going to have better development in your plants, as well as making your animal feel more at home. So after I get the substrate completely evened out and distributed through the tank how I want, I'm going to give it a nice misting. And this is a fresh bottle, and always what I do is I always use reptile and amphibian safe water by dechlorinating it. My favorite product is ReptiSafe. I like it because it's affordable and it works extremely well. Open it up, one drop right in here. From there, I'm going to take this, put it right back up, and you're just going to give the top layer a real good mist. Right like this. Okay. Now, the next step, we're going to take one of our biodegradables, which is the New Zealand sphagnum moss. You're going to take it open, pair of scissors, go right like this. So after you open, you guys have a bunch of dry moss in the bag. Unscrew your treated water and dump it right in the bag. This bag is waterproof too, which makes it real easy to use. So you seal the bag, slosh it back and forth, and make it have the moss absorb the most of the water. Do you notice how I don't need a bucket? Then you're going to dump the entire contents of the bag right into the tank. Okay. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a handful worth like this. And I'm going to dig a deep hole at the very bottom, close to the heating source. Where whatever side I'm going to have the heating source, this is the side I'm going to put the moss inside the hole. And you're going to sprinkle it around inside the hole with a swirling motion like this. This distributes the moss within the tank. Where in that section, cover it back up, so that way the moss is intertwined with the substrate. Next step is just sprinkle a little bit of the substrate, a little bit of the sphagnum moss throughout the top of the enclosure. Not covering all of it, but a very spatial, mixed in type of covering. Okay, so then we have our base layer down. We have our deep layer of Terra Firma, and then we have our New Zealand sphagnum moss. The next step that I'm going to do is where I put the sphagnum moss deep in the substrate, I'm going to take one of these little haba huts right here. I'm going to remove the branding, and I'm going to dig another hole with where everything's mixed in. And I'm going to put the haba hut down underneath. So it's at an angle like this with the entrance facing the front of the vivarium. And then I'm going to cover it up, leaving a little bit of the front exposed. What this is going to do is create a really significant humid hide that your springtails and isopods are going to love. Because what's going to happen is the haba hut's going to break down little by little because it's made of wood. Springtails and isopods are going to feast on that. That's going to create a very nutrient-rich area, which is where your snake is going to be spending a lot of the time. Where your snake spends the majority of the time is where it's going to go to the bathroom. And what happens in a bioactive enclosure when your snakes go to the bathroom? Your bugs clean it up. And that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Springtails and isopods. Your isopods are crustaceans, and your springtails are arthropods that have been around since the dinosaurs. Their entire evolutionary niche in nature is to blend in, hide, breed, and break down organic matter. Organic matter can be leaves, it can be wood, it can be dead animals, it can be snake skin, and it can be fecal matter. As your springtails and isopods break down this organic matter, such as your biodegradables, your snake's feces, and the snake skin, it's putting organic nutrients back into the soil and revitalizing your soil. So it's as simple as dumping in each culture into your tank. It doesn't look like much, but trust me, you don't need a lot. Because what's going to happen is these bugs are going to breed and create a sustainable population within the tank itself. Really, with a tank this size, which is a 40 breeder, it's going to take a couple months. So you're going to need the spot clean. And after it gets established with the bioactivity, you're still going to have to spot clean the urates. But I can tell you from first-hand experience, I've had my corn snakes set up for almost 6 years in the exact same setup like this. I have never changed the substrate. When they shed, their skin is eaten within 18 hours. If they poop, their feces are eaten within 5 hours. 5 hours, leaving only the urates. Springtails and isopods do not eat the urates, and what that's doing is consistently rejuvenating the soil. So, as you can see, what I've covered so far, I got the firma, springtails and isopods, and the biodegradables. Last layer of biodegradables is your leaf litter. And what I'm going to do is simply take the leaf litter and just dump the entire bag into the tank. And then I'm just going to mix it into the substrate, as well as leave a nice decent layer on the top. Not only does leaf litter provide a nice hiding area for your snakes, it is aesthetically pleasing. It also provides the fuel for your substrate with your springtails and isopods like I mentioned before. So after I get this entire step done, I'm going to go through and mist this bad boy one more time prior to being finished. Next step, decorating. By far my favorite part. So I always like to have a hot spot on the cool side and the hot side for snakes. That's how snakes are. They like to thermoregulate at their own pace. So I've got a cork tube right now. I think I'm going to put the cork tube right on front here. And then I got a really nice great wood vine. I sell everything that I posted here, as you guys know. We're going to put the vine, I think I'm going to put that right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can dig that. I'm going to put one plant. So a fun fact about my plants, it took me years to find my grower. They're all 100% grown without without phosphates, which is fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides. These are all grown 100% naturally, without all the bogus stuff on top of it. And then I'm going to put my fern, right here. Now, as you can see, this tank is still relatively open, and it's one of those things that you can make it crowded, or you can make it simple like this. What it really comes down to is what you want. What you're going to notice with the plants is you need plants that are durable, and you need plants that can handle a beating, because king snakes are quite active animals. So that's why I chose the plants that I chose. If you get a bioactive kit from me that is specifically designed for the California Kingsnakes, I'm going to pick plants for you that can handle the weight and the tendencies of your snake. So I got a spot right here for the water dish. As far as heating, what I like to use are the ZoomMed Reptotherm under tank heaters. I slap them right on the side right here. As you can see, there's one attached already with this size. What I really like about these is as the heat is pushing towards the side, it's pushing heat into all the pockets in the substrate that I was telling you guys about earlier. That creates almost a sauna for your snakes, which, like I said earlier, what does a humid hide do? It helps with respiration, hydration, and shedding. Win, win, win. We got our under tank heater set up on the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to install the little one here. I would really like to thank Jay for providing Samantha to us, or to the dude, as part of a giveaway to give her a nice natural environment that she deserves. This is a beautiful snake, man. Wow. This is a banana California Kingsnake. It hasn't pooped or bitten me, which is pretty awesome. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the little one right here. What your snake is going to do is going to create a network of tunnels throughout this entire tank. What you're going to notice is as the tank matures, you'll literally have, just like prairie dogs, how they have all their networks of tunnels, snakes do the exact same thing, and it's absolutely insane to see it in a natural vivarium. I'm going to put on the lid here. And then I'm going to put on one of my LEDs. This is my 16-inch Take Me in Hertz BioDude LED that has the red and blue diodes in it. From there, I am going to put on the LED props that I sell separately. Not only do the props make the light look a lot nicer, but they distribute the light a little bit better. So you get more out of your light and more of a confined space. I put this plant over here because it does well with bright light. It also does well with medium light as well. As you can see, if you wanted to do a heat dome, you have more than plenty of room to put a heat dome on either side. If you wanted to add in another heating pad, you have more than enough room. It is always very important that you are using things to monitor their habitat to make sure that your humidity is correct and your temperature is correct. That's why the dude sells, in my opinion, the best digital thermometer hygrometer on the market, made by Vivarium Electronics. It is accurate to 0.01 of a degree or percentage when reading your humidity and your temperature, which in my opinion, that is of paramount importance. Another thing that you're going to learn is automation. Every single one of my tanks is automated except for feeding my animals. The lights come on when I tell them to come on. The lights go off when I tell them to come off with a timer. The animals are misted, automated by Mist King. Yeah, the Mist Kings are expensive. They're $130 for the starter system on my website. But the second you get one, and you have it hooked up to a tank like this, misting it 30 seconds a day, you'll never know why you never had one before. When your animals get on a schedule, you'll notice them be active at specific times of the day that coincide with that schedule. So if you have your Mist King to go off at 8 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night for 35 seconds in a tank this size, most likely your snake is going to be out at both of those times because they're going to know that's what time it rains. Believe it or not, I've seen it with almost every animal I've kept. And you'll notice them coming out to drink. You'll notice them, especially when they want to shed. It makes an enormous difference when they want to shed. But it is always something to consider. And again, my name is Josh Halter. I am the founder and owner of thebiodude.com. you please visit my website at www.BioDude, visit me on Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, guys. The dude abides.